Joe Biden's VP search continues, but as of last night, there's one less name being looked at, and that is Amy Klobuchar, who had this to say on Lawrence O'Donnell.
I have never, as you probably know, on many, many shows since I endorsed the vice president on that joyful night in Dallas, I've never commented on this process at all. But let me tell you this, after what I've seen in my state, what I've seen across the country, this is a historic moment, and America must seize on this moment. And I truly believe, as I actually told the vice president last night when I called him, that I think this is a moment to put a woman of color on that ticket. And there are so many incredibly qualified women. But if you want to heal this nation right now, my party, yes, but our nation, this is sure a hell of a way to do it. And that's just what I think after being through this in my state.
Okay, so that is Amy Klobuchar saying that she is pulling out, and also Biden should pick a woman of color to be his running mate. Thoughts?
Okay. Sure, I'll go first. All the things that are happening are, one, she wasn't going to get it anyway. What she's saying when she's volunteering this, it might have been, Amy, we'll give you the opportunity to volunteer your way out of this, but we're not picking you anyway, so you can present it however you want to Lawrence O'Donnell. That said, it still looked like it killed her to say it, because there are all those moments where she's like signing her name, Vice President Klobuchar, and then she has to crumple those up and throw them in the trash. The other thing that's happening is her looking at Elizabeth Warren and going, "You too." You know, neither of us. And congratulations to Kamala Harris, really.
Yeah. I know that's exactly the first few thoughts that I had, that a lot of people, and the thing is, I think it's a not terrible strategy, if those are your goals, is to look like it was your decision rather than that you weren't going to get picked. And honestly, I'm enough in a bubble that has nothing to do with Amy Klobuchar that I have no idea how likely she was to be picked. It seems like a crazy pick to me that would do virtually nothing to increase his odds of winning, but I could be wrong. Maybe strong Biden fans really do like Klobuchar, so I'm willing to admit.
I think at this point they don't think that Minnesota's is a problem. I mean, it might be because it's so polarizing, but I think they had Minnesota. It's looking at these polls.
Yeah.
They're thinking more like Ohio, Pennsylvania, or Ohio, specifically that, and Michigan's got to be his. Are you kidding me? But
we'll
there's
see after debates, but yeah. And the thing is, like, as much as, you know, I don't agree with Amy Klobuchar in much. I think he should pick a woman of color. I just very much disagree about who it should be. Probably.
But specifically with Amy Klobuchar, like, that ad writes itself. Amid all, Joe Biden says he's for Black Lives Matter, but at the same time, he picked a vice presidential running mate who didn't prosecute the guy who killed George Floyd.
Yeah. That would be terrible and accurate. Yeah, and by the way, in terms of like the sort of like set, like she effectively, like, I don't know what the analogy is, but she set herself and him on fire. It was very much like a Faramir moment from Return of the King. Like,
and
she
who on fire?
took them both out.
Warren,
yeah. Klobuchar and Warren. And the thing is, like, I'm totally fine with that. Not for the same reason as a lot of people on Twitter. I'm one of those people who doesn't hate Warren. Like, there are people who, like, you just choose, like, you know, Joe Manchin instead of Warren. I'm not one of those people. But I don't think Warren necessarily has to be the nominee, and I think it makes it more sense for her to remain in the Senate. Choose a woman of color. There's some amazing progressive women of color. You can choose Barbara Lee or Nina Turner. I know that they never would, but those are considerations that they can make.
I think they're going to pick Kamala Harris, and it actually provides some kind of cover when you're trying to in the face of abolish the police, because she stood toe-to-toe with Meghan McCain and defended tenets of the Black Lives Matter movement and the defund the police movement, explained them well, while at the same time being an attorney general who was in charge of prosecutions for the entire state of California.
Yeah, I think that's the direction it's moving. I think that there's still a chance of Stacey Abrams, but I think in the end they will probably end up going with Harris. Although the other ads then write themselves based on their interactions on the debate stage. So we'll see. Anyway, really fast, I want to give you Joe Biden's reaction to what Klobuchar said. He tweeted, Amy, from the moment you announced you were running for president in a snowstorm, he had to mention it because she has 1,000 times over the course of the election. He says, it wasn't hard to see you had the grit and determination to do anything you set your mind to. You know how to get things done. With your help, we're going to beat Donald Trump. And sure, I mean, to the extent that he needs her help in that state, she can still provide it as a surrogate for him and all of that.
And she will.
And again, at the end of the day, we don't really have all that much evidence that VPs are super important, even for winning their own state. Maybe then, who knows?
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.